Alright, we are now underway in our 70th Open Dragon Mouth video. And, wow, what a weekend we have had in Chicago. It is now official, and I'd like to congratulate the staff at Midwest Furfest for now officially becoming the world's largest furry convention, as they have just surpassed Anthro in attendance numbers. And the number in attendance was estimated to be around 8,700 attendees. That is a huge jump. So, and Anthro did send their congratulations to them. So, and by the way, someone had drew some artwork of the carousel with the Chicago raccoon up in front and Uncle Kage's cockroach character right behind him. And as a homage, they put Rabbity Rabbit right behind them. So, no doubt it has become very crowded over at the hotel. Now, I was staying at the Hilton mainly because all the main hotel rooms were already booked. So I had some strange occurrences with my room, which one of them was there's this stupid rule that for a room you can only have two key cards for your room. If you want an extra one, you have to pay an extra $25. That is an expensive key. So we had 4 people in our room, which means that we had to spend an extra $50 just to get room keys for the other 2 roommates. Another thing was that the heating, air conditioning was limited on its effect because the reason was that it was in econo mode. And we've heard some noises like shouting coming from the air vents, and it wasn't just our room. The people next door to us heard the same thing. So I don't know where it came from, but if I can hear from another room through the vents, you may want to think about reworking that. But other than that, I am still working on the Midwest Furfest video, so that will be up soon. I have been extremely busy with a combination of work here at home. I've already put up the charity Cards Against Humanity video. I just rendered the Whose Line Is It Anyway video. I had to make 2 more videos for someone else that's not furry related. And now I got to work on the convention video itself. So yeah, I've had a very, very busy week. So don't worry, it will be coming. Now I do want to address a couple of things that happened. One thing that has happened was that there was the police and medical personnel were called pretty frequently, which involved one arrest. And I've been looking all over Twitter, and I'm seeing the same thing. It's a Nazi fur. Well, what I've been gathering was that it is Magnus Deridian, the same guy who was in the Confederate fursuit at Anthro. And I'm hearing accusations about what happened there. I have no idea what happened. People are saying that he was in a German uniform and shouting all bunch of bull crap. I really don't know. I have not verified any of this information. I've even looked for a police report all over. I've Google searched a Rosemont police report. I can't find anything yet. I don't know how long it takes to put such a thing up. But as far as people saying that he was arrested because he was shouting hate speech, that would not be the reason. it would come down to two things. One, disturbing the peace, which I again suspect that he was trying to troll people at the convention. And second would be trespassing, which, from what I understand, both the hotel and the convention banned him from being there in the first place. So those are the two likely reasons that he was arrested. Not because of what he's saying, but more that he's not supposed to be there. And I am aware of at least one, or maybe more, that was taken away in an ambulance. From what I understand with the one instance that I'm aware of, is that someone was passed out in the bathroom in the hotel lobby. I don't know anything else beyond that, but that's one instance of that. So clearly, convention safety is something that they have to work on. However, they had hired security to walk the premises, and they had been checking small bags when the dance was going on. So they were doing the best they could to keep the convention safe. In fact, on Twitter, people keep saying, and I have seen this, they had a drug sniffing dog going around the convention, including around the dealers and the Sky Bridge. I cannot understand why people would want to bring drugs to a convention, especially at such a big one, when you know you're going to get in trouble. But other than that, I was there from Thursday to Sunday. I had to leave on Sunday because I had, one, to prepare for work, and two, I participate in a ball hockey league back at home, and we had to participate in playoffs, which our main goalie was injured and I was the backup, so I had to come in. But the good news is we're playing for the championship in 1 week. Oh, I've been talking so much about Midwest Furfest, and I've already gone nearly 8 minutes in. So now it comes down to what is going to be occurring in the future. No doubt that Anthro is always going to be one of the best furry conventions, and one of the keystones to the furry fandom. So, I still recommend going to Pittsburgh if you have not been there yet. Let's see. But I'll have more of Midwest Furfest when I have the video ready. One thing I do want to mention, well, before I do that, let me get to this thing. Vice was covering the furry fandom again. They posted a video. Did they post it today, or was it... oh no, this was all the way back in September. But this was called The Truth About Furries, Fandom Not Fetish. So obviously this has something to do with trying to dispel the furries have sex stereotype. But they covered furries from around the Toronto area. And I say it's not a bad documentary with the interviews. They pretty much gave the best answer they could, which was that which there's no denying that it occurs. It'll occur with any group, but yeah, if you dig deep enough. But it's not fair to say that it goes for any just casual furry. But I did buy this documentary, which they were selling in the dealer's tent. I have not got a chance to watch it yet because I was busy. But it's called Furries, a documentary by Rick Risher. I got this for $10. It includes over half an hour documentary, and it includes an interview with the director, some deleted scenes, an extended look at Anthrocon, and an interview with social psychologist Dr. Kathy Grabowski and Courtney Plant. So when I get the chance, I'll take a look at this and I'll review it for you guys. Let's see. Now, there's been an update as far as a court case that's going on. This is the Peter S. Beagle versus Cochran case, which is something that's been going on for nearly 2 years now. See, Peter S. Beagle, a furry author, has been fighting former publishing agent Connor Cochran for damages and restitution for 15 causes of action, including fraud, defamation, and elder abuse. Cochran had put in a motion for judgment, and initially it was given a tentative ruling on October 24th, which was contested by Cochran, and after arguing of the matter, the tentative ruling was affirmed. So the result of this was that all but one of the causes of action were sustained. The judgment had described Cochran's motion as frivolous, going on to quote another California case to say, subjective bad faith may be inferred by evidence that appellants intended to cause unnecessary delay, filed the action to harass respondents, and harbored an improper motive. The timing of the action may raise an inference of bad faith. The only thing that was done away with was the elder abuse charge. Now, why was this? Well, according to the law, well, first let me put in why they argued for elder abuse. Beagle, after Beagle had finally cut The Last Unicorn film tour, Cochran had promised disappointed fans that they'd receive unique postcards, each of them signed individually by Beagle. So Beagle was forced to sign 5,000 cards in such a short time, which they argued caused great physical pain and emotional stress. Now, the problem is that the law says that physical abuse requires, quote, unreasonable physical constraint. So, therefore, it was ruled that the harm to Beagle was caused by the threat to his income, not physical abuse. But the physical effects resulting from financial abuse, another cause against Cochran, which was sustained in this motion. So it was more of the financial abuse, not physical abuse. So all this coming after Cochran's countersuit was thrown out with prejudice, which means that they can go to court with this again. Makes it clear that things are looking pretty good for Mr. Beagle. He's even published 3 books since the lawsuit began. But this case is not over yet, so we'll get an update for you as soon as possible for this. Now, Washington State has had a pretty bad few years as far as fur cons. Rainforest, anyone? But things might be turning around as Anthro Northwest has been formed. Now, this convention is being more stringent with their rules, especially around adult material. So this might be some good news for the area. But one thing has been leaking out onto the internet, and that's camera release forms for a show called This Is Life with Lisa Ling, which is a documentary-style show on CNN. And instantly, locals were not really happy about it because of what happened at Furlandia. But of note, Anthro Northwest has been noted as being the largest attendance for a first-year furry convention with 809. Now, as far as what happened at Furlandia, if you remember, back 4 years ago, we had 3 new conventions that started. Furthermore, Big's Little FurCon, both of which I've been to, and Furlandia, which was hosted in Portland, Oregon. What happened was that at the convention they had revealed that MTV would be creating a documentary there. And the whole convention was overshadowed because of this, because MTV has done stuff with furries before, some of which were not so good. You can look back at something like Sex 2K, an old show. But there are some good news for Anthro Northwest. They did release a statement regarding the situation as soon as the issue was brought up, instead of waiting until after the convention to make a statement. And that's something that a lot of furries do want. They want more transparency so they know what's going on. And that is one thing I do wish that Anthrocon would do. And there is one other thing with Midwest Furfest, but I'll get to that in just a second. And Furlandia has had several years of success after their first year, so despite what happened with MTV, they continued on, and things are still looking good for them. And they continue to see an increase in attendance every year. But we do want to note that the growth has been slow. But there could be some other factors into that. The show and the organization they chose is a lot less controversial than MTV. CNN is a very respected organization. I watched them quite a bit, and they want to make sure that their stuff is accurate. So CNN, I would trust CNN over MTV any day. And the attendance number, like I said, they broke the record for a first-year convention with 809. All right, what else do we got here? I saw this on Twitter, and I was like, can I really get away with this? There is a new ice cream company that started up in New Jersey called Dairy Air. And they have this logo. This logo has a dairy cow with obviously female with blonde hair. She's wearing a black beret, and her butt is sticking out, complete with a heart tattoo on her butt. And parents are not happy about that. What can I say? It's very provoking. It's attention getting. But the reaction, to be fair, has been mixed. Some calling it an overreaction. But look up the logo and see what you think. Yeah, I was going to get into what else happened at Midwest Furfest. I completely forgot about this. What also blew up at Midwest Furfest was that someone brought a fox with them to the convention, and everyone was saying how distressed the fox was. why Midwest Furfest wasn't doing anything about it. Because the person claimed it was for what did they say? It was either emotional support or yeah, I know. I saw the tweet. Let me bring up the tweet. For someone who works for MFF. I know I have it somewhere. Yeah, this person also works. She's done animal training and mental health for animals. So the person claims that it's either it's a service animal or emotional support animal. But basically what this is that this person had shown that they have paperwork. It was signed by who was it on? I know they said who signed it. But yeah, they had proper paperwork on whether it was a service animal or a emotional. But as far as why Furfest couldn't do anything about it is that under the law they really can't do anything about it. Otherwise, they would be in legal trouble. So whether they disagreed with whether that fox should have been brought to the convention or whether he should have even had him at all, that's something that they can't do anything about it. It's just that they would get themselves into legal trouble if they took any action. But the two tweets that I am referring to says, I'm not speaking as staff, but as an animal training and mental health professional who trained service animals for 4 years. If the animal has paperwork from the city, I think that's a little typo there. As a dog/dog hybrid, the con has its hands tied. They have to follow it or risk legal recourse. I do not have first-hand knowledge, but feel the owner could be confused between an ESA and an SA, which is an emotional support animal, and a service animal. Emotional support animals are not protected by the ADA and are not service animals. They do not have public service access. But no matter what the con is protected, as they are acting on what the city has determined. So because the city says that this is a service animal, they can't do anything about it. We have an update on an upcoming movie. I said before that we're going to have Detective Pikachu. And they have chosen an actor, which would be Ryan Reynolds. He will be. He's also going to be joining Justice Smith, and by the way, Smith is also going to be appearing in the upcoming Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom movie. And Big Little Lies. Actress Catherine Newton is also in this movie. I gotta see what role he is doing. Okay, so the story is that Smith's character's father is kidnapped, and he's teaming up with Pikachu in order to find him. Now, did they say who is voicing Pikachu? Because if I remember correctly, he's going to be speaking in a human language. Like that other movie they did at the end. Let's see. The role is said to be motion capture in nature. Many details of the project is being kept off the grid, including the casting, which has been conducted under the radar, but usually secretive, legendary. So yeah, they're not saying much as far as casting, but this is revealed who is going to be in the movie. And speaking of, for those of you playing Pokemon Go, there's been a big update in the game. They have now released some of the Gen 3s, along with a new startup picture. One of the new elements of the game is that the real world weather now affects the game. And what happens is for a certain type of weather, certain elements are going to be powered up. And Pokemon of those elements will appear more frequently. So as of right now, it's raining right now, which means that water, electric, and bug types are going to be stronger, and they'll appear more often. And if you catch Pokemon of those types, you also get an extra amount of Stardust. But as far as who I've caught so far, I did get one of the Gen 3 starters, which would be Trico. So far there's been a lot of Wurmples, which I've already got both of his Stage 2 evolutions. But my personal favorite would have to be Plusle. I have not found Minun yet, but as of right now, the word is that they have 50 of the Gen 3s out right now, but they'll have more coming in just a little bit. And there's supposed to be a new item coming into the game, which we're not sure what the effect is going to be yet, but we're anticipating it'll have something to do with doubling the Stardust for a limited time. Let's see. And I've already gone... Wow, half an hour already? Man, I've been talking a lot. We only have 3 events coming up here in December. We have Furfest upon Malaysia tomorrow and Sunday, which will be, of course, in Malaysia, duh. And finally, New Year's Furry Ball over in Delaware, and Laugh New Year's Eve in Illinois. Both of them, of course, New Year's Eve. Now, as far as what I'm doing, I have been... I was thinking about changing up my schedule just a little bit. For one thing, we do have a new convention coming up not too far from here. We have a convention coming up in Raleigh called Anthro Crossroads East, or ACE. And that one will be occurring on January 26th. So that will be taking place in Raleigh for the 26th to the 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites at Crabtree Valley, which is right near the mall. And I think I've said this before, but it will be an airplane theme, which coincidentally that is going to be the same thing that Midwest Furfest is going to have next year. And right now, me and another YouTuber, Felix, we're planning to do a panel together. Try to do a little bit of fun. It's based on a Japanese show. We have to get approval first before we can announce what it is. But I've also been thinking about bringing my flight simulator. this is what I use now for my controls. And I've been asked a few times to attend one other one, which I'm actually considering doing in place of Furthermore. Mainly because, you saw that I have my DJ set up for that con, but I have not posted anything else beyond that for that particular convention. And same thing with FangCon. There's just not enough content for me to bring to you, because both of them are small conventions and there's just not enough material for me to bring. So I'm going to change it up a bit, and right now, plan is I might do Fur Squared, located near Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and that's going to be near the end of February. So I'm already trying to make plans here, and the plane tickets are actually pretty good, just under $300 from myself. So yeah, good chance I'll be at Fur Squared, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I've done enough talking for the night. This Dragon's Mouth is now closing.